Hey everyone, welcome to the Design Studio. So today's episode is going to be really something fun that I'm super excited about teaching you. This is something I've been making forever, and I want to teach you how to make them too, because they are so fun, so cool, and so inexpensive to make, but they make a great presentation on any of your party tables. So what are we going to make? We are going to make these awesome table card centerpieces. So they're really easy to make, they're really fun, and honestly, by the time you're done making this, it will really, literally cost you pennies, and I mean pennies, to create this same centerpiece. The first supply that we will use in creating these centerpieces is a piece of foam board. Now this foam board I purchased at the dollar store for $1, and I figure that I can get 5 of my table card centerpieces out of one piece of foam board. So I'm going to go ahead and measure it, and then we'll cut it, and then we can get started. First thing I did, just in case any of you guys who are DIYers, crafters, if you don't have one of these, you need to get one, because this thing is awesome. It's called a T-square, and a T-square helps you cut your foam board nice and straight and evenly. The size you're going to need is an 8.5 by 11 piece of foam board, just like an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Same exact size is what you're going to cut out of the foam board. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to take my T-square and I'm just going to measure my foam board so that I can cut it in the proper sizes that I need in order to create my cards. Where I put those cuts, where I put those lines, and I'm just going to go right along my T-square and cut it. And there you have it. See how easy that was? T-square is awesome. You're probably wondering, why did I need an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper? I mean a piece of foam board. Well, I needed the 8.5 by 11 piece of foam board because that's the exact size that we're going to use to create the table card. So I have already designed a bunch of my table cards. Now check these out. This is the really cool, super fun, awesome part of this whole DIY is that it only takes an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper to create these cool table cards. So what I did was I created this on just my print program on my computer, and I printed it on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, but it must be photo paper. Make sure that when you print these, you print them on photo paper. So I've designed, a few of them that we can make. Let's see, I designed a bachelorette party. I designed an engagement party. Baby's first birthday. 30th birthday, baby shower, for a baby shower, and just a happy birthday party. So as you can see, you're going to be able to make these table cards for any occasion, and I'm telling you, they're going to wow your guests. They're going to go like, oh, these are so cool. How did you make these? Oh, I love them. Where'd you get the idea? You're going to say the Design Studio on YouTube. So go over and click onto their site and make sure that you subscribe to their channel. That's what you say, okay? Aren't these like so cool? A piece of foam core, a piece of photo paper equals centerpiece. How awesome is that? For like next to nothing. So, you know, if you're on a really super tight budget, this is the way to go. And I'm telling you, your guests are gonna love these. They're absolutely gonna love them. So now I'm just going to take my piece of foam board, and I'm going to take my beautiful piece of artwork here for Sarah and Eric, who have gotten engaged. And this is for their engagement party. And I'm just going to, now that I have evenly coated it with the Super 77, and I like to use Super 77 because it coats very evenly, and when you apply it, there's no lumps or bumps on your foam board. So now I'm just applying that, and now it's all attached to my foam core, okay? So my next step is I am just going to find out where the middle of this piece of foam board is, which is 5.5. And I am just going to take my T-square. T-square, you have to have a T-square. You cannot do this without a T-square because it just makes it so even. You know, you can do it with a ruler, but it's just better to do it with a T-square because it always comes out perfectly even. This one I happen to buy in Lowe's. You can get them Lowe's, Home Depot, but you definitely have to invest in one, and they really aren't that much money. They're not that expensive. Okay. So I'm just going to score it very lightly down the middle so that I don't cut all the way through. And then when I pick it up, it will bend in half. Amazing, right? That's just so cool. Alrighty, so the next step that we're gonna do in order to make these really decorative is I like to go across the top of them with like maybe some beads. You could use anything that you want to use. You can be as creative as you want on these. I'm just going to use silver beads today, but you could use a you could use like a braided ribbon, something like that. So I'm just going to measure these beads, and then I'm going to cut them. And then I am going to glue them to the top. But before I do that, I'm going to take my knife, and in the middle I'm just going to cut myself a little hole here. I'm just going to cut a little bit, just a little slit here, so that afterwards, if I want, you don't have to, but if you want, you have a slit that you can put your balloons in. All right? As you can see, if I don't have something sturdy like the beads, this is just gonna lay flat. It's not going to stand up, and we want it to stand up. So I'm just gonna take my beads, and I'm going to glue them in between the fold. So I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna put some glue on here. I don't put it all the way through, I just put like a few little dabs of it. And don't put any glue where you want to put the balloons through the slit. So here we go. Let's take our beads, and we're just going to attach our beads. Now our table card stands up. Isn't that so cute? Just adorable. Okay, so for the next step, what I like to do is I still like to continue to embellish, and let me tell you, these, you can embellish as much as you want. You can get as creative as you want, but you're starting with this, the basics. Then go through your house, go through your art studio, go through your craft room, and start to find little cool things that you can attach to these to like make them more glitzy and more glittery, and you know, get as creative as you want with these. This is just a heart shape that I cut out of metallic paper that I got at Michael's. And I'm just going to go and attach it right here with just a little spot of glue. But tell me that isn't like just adorable. Next step, let's attach our balloons. So I just have a couple of balloons here that I purchased at the dollar store. So, you know, $1 a piece, $2. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to take my ribbon and I'm just going to push it through that little hole that we made in the middle of the table card. Just gonna push these down in there. And once I pull them through, I am going to attach them to this little weight. Again, purchased at the dollar store. They were 2 for $1, so 50 cents each. I'm just going to tie these balloons to this little weight, to this little balloon weight. And then I'm going to push it underneath of my beautiful table card. And now our table card is complete. But like I said, you guys at home, you can get as creative as you want. You can put lots of embellishments on that. Another thing that sometimes I like to do is take these little sprays, these little, what are they? I don't know, they're just called sprays. You get them in the floral department of the craft store. And then I will take and I'll push this also through that little hole in the center of my centerpiece, table card, centerpiece, whatever you want to call it. But look at how cute that is. Do you just like love these? And now let's just talk about how much this costs to make. Okay, so you have the piece of foam core that I bought at the dollar store. I got 5 of those. That's 20 cents for the foam core. A piece of photo paper, what does it cost? 25 cents, 50 cents for the photo paper. The balloons were $1 each. The cutout, it cost me pennies to cut this out because I cut numerous ones out of one piece of paper. And then if you want to put this little spray in, this was like 25 cents. And then you get these whole thing of beads for $1 at the dollar store. I don't even know. It was so cheap to make it, it was like ridiculous. But you can make these for your events. If you're an event designer, if you're an event decorator, a balloon artist, a centerpiece designer, you can make these and resell these to your customers. It's just like a no-brainer. If you want, when you're creating these, like for this one that I did for Katie's graduation, I actually put her photograph on here. You can put pictures on here if you like. And I put the number of the table right on there. So not only is it a little centerpiece, but it also doubles as a table card. So you can use them as table cards, or you don't have to. You can just use them like this 30th birthday one just says 30th birthday. And you know, we'll end up attaching the balloons right through there just like we did on this one. How much fun have we had making these today? And you see how quick they are to make? I mean, you can make these in no time. Even if you were making them for every table and you had 20 tables, you know, these are going to cost you like next to nothing to make. So I really hope that you guys are excited to go and try and make these as I was in teaching you how to make them. You're just going to have so much fun with these. I really want you guys to comment below, tell me what you made. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on my next episode at the Design Studio.